Once again, news tonight at 10. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and straight away into the bulletin. Hundreds of Muslims gathered at the Uganda National Mosque in Old Kampala this morning to mark Eid al-Adha, one of the holiest days in Islamic calendar. The Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Ramadan Mubaje, delivered a passionate message of peace and tolerance, condemning those who commit acts of terror under the guise of the religion.
Allahu Akbar walillahi alhamd.
Muslims from all walks of life thronged the Uganda National Mosque in Old Kampala to observe Eid al-Adha, one of the holiest days in the Islamic calendar. During his sermon, the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Ramadan Mubaje, delivered a message of peace and tolerance, condemning those using Islam to commit heinous acts.
Islam is a religion of peace. There is no room for violence, no terrorism in our religion. Those who are doing it at their own, not representing Islam. Islam is a religion of peace. But it's very saddening to hear that every act of terrorism and violence, there is a name, Usman, Suleiman. What happened recently is something which is still in our minds. How are we going to claim that Islam is a religion of peace when some of our people, the same, being caught in acts?
He also cautioned Muslim leaders not to allow politicians to use the pulpit to promote divisive politics.
As we approach the election season, we call upon all Muslims in particular and the Ugandans at large to maintain peace and stability. UMS's places of worship and religious functions should not be used as platforms for campaigning and for divisive politics. Sheikhs and chairpersons at all levels have been cautioned, and there is a saturating place which goes down to the grassroots mosques.
The second Deputy Mufti, Sheikh Muhammad Harun Abu Kenya, reminded Muslims of the importance of sacrifice during this holy period.
In need, we support the poor, improve lives, and express our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Our father Ibrahim alayhi salam. We remember Ismail alayhi salam. And at the same time, we do the sunnah of sacrifice. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability within today and the 3 days following after today to give us the ability to slaughter animals.
Among the congregants was the Sudanese community, who offered heartfelt prayers for peace to return to their conflict-hit homeland.
For leaders of Sudanese keep who fighting, I'm saying to them, stop war, and we are seeking for peace. We are refugees and many countries, so make peace for our country, and we come back to our country peace.
We are so happy, so excited to be part of this big community. Everyone is excited. We're going to go out there and share with our families, slaughter, share with the neighbors, and yeah, very excited.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Now, still with Eid celebrations, hundreds of Muslims gathered at Uganda National Mosque in Old Kampala this morning to mark the Eid al-Adha, one of the holiest days. And of course, still in Kibuli, the Kibuli Mosque had by early this Friday, it had filled to capacity as thousands of Muslims gathered for these Eid celebrations. Let's have more in this report.
The Supreme Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Muhammad Shaban Galavuzi, led the Chibuli Mosque Eid Day prayers. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. The guest preacher was Sheikh Isaac Mutengu, who condemned sectarianism and decried moral decay among the population.
We have to leave a legacy to our children. Generation this generation of ours has rotted too much. We have no shame at all. Omusajja n'ogenda mu TV eggwanga n'olimba ensi nga buli omu ashika nti olimba bulimbi.
The titular head of Muslims in Uganda, Prince Dr. Kasim Anachibinge, hosted the faithful for a meal at his residence. He welcomed President Museveni's apology made 2 weeks ago, but urged him to follow through by correcting the wrongs, including releasing political prisoners.
That was very statesmanship of him to apologize, knowing that it is humans who err, but we're only saying that now that you appreciate that there's a lot that has gone wrong, please take this time off and correct the mistakes that have been made. We think that there's a lot that can be done to make Uganda a better place. Try to extend an olive branch to all your detractors. We think that you should be able to initiate meaningful dialogue with members of the opposition.
He also encouraged the citizens to participate in the forthcoming general elections.
We ask all Ugandans that look at your documents and be sure they are valid in January 2026 so that you vote, and we ask you to look and internalize the messages given to you by all the contestants. Listen to them, internalize their message, and when it's time of voting, take a decision from a position of knowledge. Get to know what you want and who will stand for those interests you have. I want to appeal to all Ugandans, especially the youth, that this is an electoral process. They should maintain law and order. There is no need to be violent. There is no need for extremism.
Eid Mubarak, meaning festival of sacrifice, is marked globally through the slaughter of animals like sheep, goats, and cows. It is celebrated annually following a day of fasting. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Chibuli.
Allahu Akbar.
Still with Muslims across Uganda have joined the rest of the world to celebrate Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice, while some religious leaders used the occasion to condemn acts of terrorism like the recent Munyonyo bombing. Others called on citizens, especially the youth, to promote peace as the country heads for elections.
Muslims across Uganda have this Friday been celebrating Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice. In Bosia municipality, Eid prayers were led by District Kadi Juma Jamili Obadio, who appealed to politicians to conduct peaceful campaigns. Obadio also noted that the local Muslim community was blessed with cattle donated by Turkish partners for sacrificial rites. Dr. Lumumba Sam Wesonga Michael Kajuba and youth leader Arafat Hassan also called on young people across the country not to allow themselves to be used in acts of political violence.
That will be led by Ugandans who are action-oriented, who are people-centered, who are solution-centered. Let us not vote for people who are going to come and lie to us. people who are going to come and give us money during elections, but after elections they are going to forget about us.
Let's not be misused by anyone who is paying us money to abuse politicians, opponents. We take this opportunity to tell youths that during this era of election, we should support wisely. We should support wisely and not engage into any chaos that is going to cause instabilities within our country.
In Jinja, Sheikh Hussein Boa condemned the recent Munyonyo bombing during Martyrs' Day celebrations and emphasized the role of parenting in guiding children towards morality and peace.
We have seen in the last few days a Muslim intending to kill non-Muslims in Munyonyo. That's non-Islam. And you are not sending a message, an Islamic message to people. You are destroying Islam.
In Kagadi, Sheikh Ibrahim Muhammad encouraged Muslims to share sacrificial meat with relatives, neighbors and the needy while upholding the 5 pillars of Islam.
First portion, you give it to you and your family. It is yours and the family. Then the second portion, it is for your neighbors and the friends.
Meanwhile, in Chibale district, Imam Abdul Rahman Niwagaba of Kabuga Bilal Mosque used his sermon to rally support for President Museveni and NRM candidates, urging the Muslim community to back the party in both primaries and general elections.
NRM government that one can develop economically.
The day's prayers in Chibale were followed by a fundraising drive, during which at least 20 million was raised for the renovation of Kabuga Bilal Mosque. In Rukunjeri, Eid prayers were dominated by calls for the release of opposition figure Dr. Kiza Besigye, who has been detained for over 6 months. Former MP Mogume Roland Kaginda called on government to respect citizens' rights and urged Muslims to set aside political differences in favor of unity.
The Constitution is clear. If you put someone in a prison for 6 months and you investigate and you find the person has no case, you release that person unconditionally.
Sheikh Turia Singura Muhammad, who led prayers in Rukunjiri, reminded believers to use this period to renew their relationship with Allah. In Masindi, the Turkish government, through its Dynanet and Halba Foundation, donated over 7,000 heads of cattle for slaughter. Meat was distributed across Masindi, Nakasongola, Chiliandongo and Bulisa.
From Turkey, we want to appreciate your effort, which has been here persistently right away from the year 2015 to date.
Sheikh Yahya Mugisa thanked the Muslim community for their turnout and encouraged them to embrace government programs like the parish development model.
Government for the good governance and the peace which we have in Masindi.
Sheikh Osman Toprak, a Turkish envoy, noted that the global Muslim fraternity was united in sacrifice and solidarity during this holy season.
Uganda'nın 10 farklı bölgesinde in Uganda they are making sacrifices in 10 districts.
Yaklaşık 7.000 büyükbaş hayvanı,
almost 7,000 cows.
In Soro district, Sheikh Shafi Bakore, the deputy district Kadi, several Muslim leaders and community members voiced their frustration, accusing the Chisoro District Service Commission of favoritism against Muslim applicants.
Now, Muslims in Karamoja have joined the rest of the world in celebrating Eid al-Adha. At exactly 8:30 a.m., prayers began at Masjid Takur in Amdat Town Council, Amdat District, led by Sheikh Yusuf Umara.
Sheikh Yusuf Umaru of Masjid Takua in Amdat Town Council has applauded the government for restoring peace in the region, allowing Muslims to celebrate in harmony.
Tunachinja kwa sababu tunafuata mila ya Nabii Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam.
Sisi tumesherehekea Eid yetu vizuri sana na nadhani mnaona hata nyuma yangu vile watu wako wengi. Tunamshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa hiyo to get our brothers, to share our brothers this very big day of Eid. We are very much happy and the people are now happy and are willing to share with each other. That we also support and accept the government of Uganda by His Excellency the President of Uganda, President Museveni, who has enabled us to be united, to be uniform.
In a related development, Athika Foundation, a Turkish Islamic faith-based organization, slaughtered over 200 cattle, which were distributed to the UPDF, police, schools and local communities.
Kuja leo siku ya Eid na gawanya ng'ombe 400. Sasa naanza anachinja 100. Ile ingine kama anaweza anachinja tena 100 mpaka anaisha 400. Nataka kugawanya village, msikiti, shule.
Very happy for today's day. We have selected these animals for everybody to share. As you
Meanwhile, Amdat District Resident Commissioner Dennis Okoris also donated cows to 3 schools housing restored children in Napak district, enabling them to partake in Eid celebrations.
From the Muslim community, we are given as a community number of this we are happy to be given 5. We have a program where we started in Napak, over 600 disabled children from the street, and we thought who best to share with you. So we have also brought it to.
I thank bringing for us some meat, and I thank so much for remembering us.
Eid al-Adha is marked annually with the slaughter of animals like cows, sheep and camels in commemoration of Prophet Ibrahim's sacrifice.
Now at the city abattoir along Old Port Bear Road has been a hive of activity as Muslims faithful flocked in for livestock purchases ahead of Eid al-Adha celebrations. But this year, the celebrations have been dampened by the soaring prices of livestock.
Eid al-Adha, also referred to as the Festival of Sacrifice, holds deep spiritual significance, commemorating Prophet Ibrahim's devotion as he prepared to sacrifice his son Ismail in obedience to God. For many, the celebration is also about sharing. The meat from the sacrificed animals is distributed among family, neighbors, and the less fortunate.
We have to, being a Muslim, we have to, as a human being as well, we have to distribute and we have to participate in full sense with money, with meat, to the poor. We should reach to them. You know.
It's been business unusual here at the city arbiter. However, the issue of high prices is one of the concerns raised by these people.
Traders attribute the high prices to supply chain disruptions and inflated pricing by brokers and farmers even before animals reach the market.
I come from Lera to bring the goat for sale from Kampala here. I want to do something. 230, 250, the one goat.
How much?
Let me sell a goat. Let me sell it.
Hello, Azor.
Goats, even this one we have taken is a 400,000 shilling. You know, 400,000 shilling, because every Thursday we take this one even 250, 300. Now we have seen it's very expensive these days is the goats. Even all animals is very expensive.
However, with rising costs, many are scaling down their contributions.
It's too much expensive. This you can call it's too much expensive, and it's beyond the pocket of the, even nowadays the businessman can't afford it. Before, you know, one businessman was slaughtering like 5, 6 goats and 1 or 2 cows, but now he is not having that capacity because of the inflation or the business crisis, you know, which are going on nowadays.
According to traders, goat and sheep prices range between Uganda shillings 250,000 to 500,000, with this year's sales lower than last year's.
No mwaka emera yombi twagula twaina sente waina sente waina uzo wingi mwaka guli gwasingako ate guno bukyali mu embuzi kyaliwo business eyo embuzi ziriwo zabireko za bei waggulu agasoba tewalira togasoba tono embuzi nawo zikyali nyingi
abantu batunyiga abantu tebalina ssente ate nga zuli ajjukira abantu balina okusala ebisolo naye era ssente entono kale katuli mu mbeera eyo naye nga tulina okukambiriza.
Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
Well, thank you very much there, Crispus Arinitwe. Now, on a sad note, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has reaffirmed government's commitment to strengthen health services through specialized treatment centers for conditions such as heart diseases. Now, this message was delivered by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taiyewa, during a Requiem service of Cedric Brian Babu Ndilima, son of Captain Francis Babu, who passed away in Kenya after a heart-related emergency.
Hundreds of mourners this Friday gathered at Raga Cathedral to celebrate the life of the late Cedric Babu, who passed on in a Nairobi hospital early this week. Portraits of the late Cedric lined the cathedral, where a condolence book was opened for tributes. Archbishop Opose Mogere led the mass and encouraged the family to find strength and comfort in God.
To assure you that God sees all the pain you have, and He calls you to find comfort in Him. He tells us in Matthew chapter 11 to come to Him when we are weary and overburdened.
President Museveni condoled with the family and promised continued efforts to reduce the burden of seeking specialized treatment abroad.
I saw many people who are saying, no, health services are down, everything. Some even respected people said Cedric wouldn't have died if we had critical health services. I think this was Cedric's time. If it was for health facilities, for money, Cedric would have been saved. I should inform you that it is our deliberate policy as a government to ensure that now we put in place all the infrastructure needed for specialized services. Specifically for cardiovascular services, we are now building a specialized hospital at Naguru, worth 270 billion.
Buganda Kingdom's message, read by Israel Chitoke, praised Cedric's legacy and service. The Nabagereka, former Katikiro Mulwanyamuli and Owekitiibwa Robert Sebunyawa in attendance.
Katunakuwazza nnyo kitalo ddala. Tukusaasidde nnyo okuviibwako omwana omukulu bw'ati bwe mbadde mutambuza emirimu egy'enjawulo. Tetusobola na kuteebereza bulumi bw'oyitamu mu kaseera kano awamu n'ab'ennyumba yammwe bonna.
Captain Babu described his son as a long-life sports icon and pledged to celebrate his life, not mourn.
For many years I have not cried. That morning I cried like a baby. We had a pediatrician, a lady in Nairobi. And Cedric used to kick and cry. He started the sports when he was young. He started kicking us and telling us. So every time he cried and kicked, we went to this pediatrician. So the one time we went to her and she said, don't come back until he keeps quiet. As long as he's kicking, he's all right. That means he's a sportsman. And for that,
I got the inspiration that this young man should go to school where they have extra curriculum studies, that is sports and many others. And we took my Cedric to Kenton College in Nairobi. And he was probably one of the best sportsmen because he was an all-rounder.
Emotional tributes came from Olive Zaitun Chigongo and Cedric's children.
He had had a heart failure, and I can tell you as a mother that I had never seen Cedric in hospital.
Always there for me, and he would come and watch me play every single tournament I had, and even if I had won or lost, he'd still give me a big hug.
Standing here in this church, a place of faith, a place of peace, I'm reminded of my dad's quiet strength and the foundation he gave us.
I know that we can't see you, but I can feel your presence. I know you are in a better place with God. I will never forget what you did for us and our family. We will miss you forever. Rest easy, Dad. Love you loads.
Also present were members of the Patriotic League of Uganda, led by General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, a close friend of the late Cedric.
Happy, and there is other memories we had with him, the MK run. I think that MK run was the last one. And he was like, Susan, don't worry, you will make it in Kampala Central. We shall see that we do whatever it takes.
I'm going to miss his kindness, his love for country.
We have lost it. Honorable Cedric Babu has been our vice chairperson, Kampala Metropolitan Area. Has been a very good man, so responsible.
Cedric had a smile that would light our darkness. Abadenga ayogera nnyo ekigambo n'atugamba, you people look after each other.
Was a strong, good, efficient young man, hardworking. Definitely we are going to miss him.
Cedric Brian Babundi Lima, former UBC Communications Director, will be laid to rest at his ancestral home in Buwala Village, Kamengo Sub-County, Mpigi District. Amwa Evanjuko and Dan Lugemwa for UBC.
Now in Tororo, Eid celebrations took a political turn as local leaders revived calls for the subdivision of the district. They say government delays in implementing President Museveni's directive to split Tororo into 4 units risk reigniting past ethnic tension. Let's hear more in this report.
Hundreds gathered at Tororo main mosque for early morning prayers, but the mood quickly shifted to politics as leaders addressed the congregation.
Everyone is in tension to know where they should belong. More so the political leaders. It's time for picking forms, but most political leaders now still don't know what to do. For example, there are people who want to be Lord Mayor. So they are confused whether they should pick the form for the mayor or for Lord Mayor for the city.
We have been patient enough. We are not going to be patient anymore. We want them to implement this this executive order. I don't know who is delaying. Is it the Minister of Local Government? Are you not listening to the president?
Religious leaders, including District Kadi Sheikh Noor Abdul Malik Koyer, expressed support for the split, saying it has already improved inter-community relations between the Iteso and Japadola.
We came back and everybody was happy. The Itesos, the Japs were all very happy. And according to what we are observing around within Tororo here, people are now happy, at least there is some togetherness. If the city status for Tororo is not realized, and the other districts are not considered like the president had pronounced, people are going to begin again conflicting.
After prayers, MP Ofono hosted the community at his residence, where over 100 cows and 1,000 goats were slaughtered and distributed to the needy.
You know, our people are needy. They are very needy. And they may not afford a kilo of meat, 2 kilos of meat. So at least they can have something, a change of diet.
As locals await cabinet and parliamentary action on the president's pronouncement, many hope this will finally bring long-term peace to a historically divided district.
Now, in Kumi District, aspiring Member of Parliament for Kanyum County, Cedric Patrick is unveiling ambitious plans aimed at transforming local livelihoods. Among his key pledges is poverty alleviation, driven by what he calls service, not career, speaking shortly after expressing interest at the NRM Electoral Commission.
At the NRM Electoral Commission, Cedric Patrick officially joined the race for the Kanyum County parliamentary seat. With this formality done, he says it is now time for action over words.
There is a difference between talking and action. Now it is the time for the electorate to gauge whom they want to be as their MP for the next 5 years, because 5 years is a whole lot of time. It has the capacity to change the trajectory of the entire constituency once you pick the right person.
Cedric believes a 5-year term offers enough time to create meaningful impact if the voters choose wisely.
The ground is not business as usual. The electorate are very informed, they are civil, they are aware, and they're examining every speech every candidate is bringing on the ground. Once you speak something, they go back to examine, do you have the ability to deliver?
He adds that an effective member of parliament should let their record speak for itself, arguing that incumbents should not even need to campaign.
I've told the people in the constituency, once I'm elected this time, I will not struggle or labor to be elected next time, because what I've done now will be speaking next time.
To walk the talk, Cedric has launched local development initiatives, starting with the poultry projects, using crossbred free-range chicks.
In 4 months, a family will be able to sell 100 chicks at 35 to 40,000 each, which is about 3.5 million. At that point, I will not be giving them chicks for free. They will be able to buy their own, maybe 300 or 400, and save money to pay fees, to go to the hospital, to build the house.
Beyond poultry, he is distributing seeds to widows and training local groups, including border operators and women's saving circles.
If people don't have a solid ground to stand, even a small thing can cause them to sell an asset of a family that they would need.
The Kanyum County seat was previously held by former Kumi District Chairperson Ismail Orot and is currently occupied by Simon Peter Opolot. Who will take the day remains to be seen, but the answer lies in the hands of voters of Kanyum County. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, the urgent need for increased sensitization on sexual and gender-based violence, the enactment of the Witness Protection Act, and strengthening collective efforts were key recommendations made by stakeholders during a symposium in Kampala. The meeting, organized by the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, brought together players from the justice, law, and other sectors.
When it comes to GBV cases, the individual in question is actually the sin themselves.
The recent study by Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with ICF, revealed that 22% of women and girls in Uganda have experienced sexual violence in their lifetime. Data from the United Nations Population Fund indicates that over 5,000 sexual gender-based violence cases have been handled since the special sessions began in 2018. Judicial reports also show that conviction rates have improved significantly, from 20% to over 81% by 2024. Despite this progress, stakeholders acknowledge gaps in witness support and public sensitization.
Emergency shelters, mental health counseling, and medical care are often unavailable or underfunded. Untrained staff or discriminatory treatment, further discouraging them from seeking.
The situation is worsened by lack of sensitization and absence of the Witness Protection Act, which could enable survivors and witnesses to safely testify in court.
The conduct of our parents also, leaving children at home is now becoming common. This is one of them. You go to the door and you go for Valentine's celebration. Recently, I had one, an 8-year-old was decided 20 times in the family business.
We need to conduct a study. What is this that is actually pushing men to commit some of this? Are we going to win this war without actually involving men who are actually the what? Who are actually the majority perpetrators?
To reduce case backlog and ensuring timely justice, the judiciary has adopted alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, including plea bargaining for sexual gender-based violence cases, an approach that has drawn mixed reactions from stakeholders.
Religious or customary courts prioritize reconciliation over accountability, pressuring survivors to forgive their abusers or return to violent relationships.
We are trying so much to make sure that our colleagues within the Child and Family Protection Unit and the CID also have the necessary tools to make sure that they can do the necessary.
Investigators are also sometimes blamed for failing both survivors and suspects.
Yeah, I think the last 24 form I read was of a 5-year-old police form to read it, and the doctor wrote hymen, worn, torn, and worn out.
We need to provide psychosocial support, not only to these victims and survivors, but also the caregivers.
These views were shared during the symposium, aimed at addressing the growing challenge of sexual gender-based violence in Uganda.
We need to be able to automate a certain key process of the DNA analysis.
Let us in Uganda where no survivor of GBV is silenced by fear, stigma, or systematic barriers.
While officially opening the event, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Nobati Mao, reaffirmed government's commitment to combating sexual gender-based violence and urged all stakeholders to take corrective responsibility.
There's a lot of impunity. The people who indulge in sexual gender-based violence boast about it. From the point of view of the Ministry of Justice, we commit to doing everything possible to support efforts at prevention, efforts at response, with the overall goal of ending impunity.
He also stressed the need for more sensitization and the establishment of additional remand homes for survivors.
We have to prevent GBV. That is really the idea. In other words, those who perpetrate it to realize that there's a very heavy price to pay if you indulge in it. The moment that message is clear, people will think twice. So far, I think that message is not out there.
The one-day symposium sought to generate ideas on how survivors can access justice and protection throughout the judicial process, shielding them from retaliation by perpetrators or their associates. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansuga, UBC News.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered a draw to win school fees.
I got to learn about the Powerball through the website www.nationallottery.go.ug. Played Powerball tickets worth 5,000, used an option of Quick Pick, and that's how I was able to be the lucky one to win 35 million. I checked my tickets online and I found out that I had winning numbers. The feeling was incredible and full of excitement. I would advise everyone who is 18 and above that whatever you're seeing here exemplifies reality. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Uganda National Lottery for bringing us this opportunity to win millions.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
This is a short story about you.
No, I don't mean that this is you. No, this is not you. This is me. Of course, this can't be you. This can't be you because you think these things of touring Uganda are for rich people. You think these touring things are for people celebrating anniversaries. This can't be you. Because you think to enjoy wildlife, you have to first put in a leave request at work. Chimpanzees are just a 30-minute boat ride from Entebbe. And you get a chance to feed, name a chimpanzee, or even adopt a chimpanzee. You can even actually use this as a rehearsal to see if you can really provide food for another living thing. God gave us a beautiful country on a budget. We don't have to fly there, we are already here. This is ours, uniquely ours.
Are you a woman with a small-scale business with a dream of growing it to another level? The GROW Project is here to support you in realizing your dream.
The GROW Project is a government initiative implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and Private Sector Foundation Uganda with support from the World Bank.
We support women-owned businesses across the country to gain hands-on and business management skills through training within your location, business financing through grants and affordable loans, and infrastructure in your areas of operation to enable you to increase your productivity.
If you have a business that makes sales of up to 800,000 Uganda shillings per month, the GROW Project has the tools and resources to help you succeed. For more information, contact your district or city GROW focal person or call our toll-free line on 0800 307 777 to learn more about how you can benefit from the GROW Project's services.
The GROW Project, empowering women economically, transforming communities.
You got us on your wallet. Bobby, again! What's the drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SITs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders, June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders. No!
F-O-B!
Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Life in Uganda today comes with so many uncertainties.
Where will Madam get Kameza if I get an accident and can't work? If anything happens to me, what will Junior eat?
Karamoja is still in the hospital. Guy is missing a lot of money here.
With a monthly payment of only 3,000 shillings off your Equity personal account for Equi-Life Insurance, you will be entitled to 50,000 shillings hospital cash per night spent in a registered facility, up to 20 nights every year. And your family will receive 3 million shillings in case of your death. Visit your nearest Equity agent to sign up today or call 0312 327 000 for assistance.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Welcome back from that short break into our business segment. The Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries together with Makerere University and other international partners, are hosting the first ever global symposium on insects in Uganda.
The head of the insect programs at the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Dr. Maxwell Otim, has emphasized the importance of hosting the first ever global symposium on insects in Uganda, stating that it offers experts a platform to share insights on how edible insects can be improved in quality for human and animal consumption.
Today, scientists, innovators, policymakers, researchers have gathered here to discuss matters of what we call beneficial insects under the auspices of a global symposium on insects for food, feed and food systems for Africa 2025.
The Director of Research at Nabuin Zonal Agriculture Research Organization, Dr. Odong Walter, highlighted the relevance of research on edible insects in addressing climate change. This was during the pre-conference media interaction.
The key resolutions from this symposium are about 5 issues. One is that we need to work on sustainable harvesting and production of insects, including edible insects and other insects. That most of the insects are harvested from the wild, but also production methods are not streamlined, so that there's need for that. So otherwise, we'll exhaust. We talk about centenary, which are always picked at particular seasons, yet demanded throughout the year.
Officials from Makerere University highlighted the need for sustainability in the production of edible insects due to their commercial relevance.
The purpose of this symposium is to bring scientists, farmers, and people from the industry to compare notes, because everyone has been trying out the art of farming insects for food, feed and food security, especially like the black soldier fly. So every farmer has his own challenges, every scientist has discovered some challenges and gaps. So we wanted this symposium to bring together, there are 10 countries in this event today, from 10 universities across the globe.
The aim of organizing this symposium and workshop here in Kampala, Uganda, is to bring all the scientists across the world such that we can work together in terms of looking at insects for food. And that is the main theme that we are doing.
A representative from the National Environmental Management Authority explains the organization's role in ensuring the safe and sustainable management of insect farming and its impact on environmental conservation.
NEMA appreciates these kinds of innovations because this is one of the methods of treatment of waste that we actually appreciate. It's economical, it's friendly, and we are very happy to see that there is a group of people in the country that are doing management of waste using black soldier larvae. And one of the reasons we're actually here is to ensure compliance, that we bring them into compliance, to support them get into compliance, ensure that they do whatever they're doing in management of waste in a manner that is environmentally friendly.
The CEO Marua Protein, Tommy Hooft, shared experience in using soldier black flies in manufacturing of organic fertilizers.
So I have a chance to meet people from different communities in the nation of Uganda, but also researchers. And I get to find out what the challenges are and then bring my 30 years of experience to the table to help find answers. So I'm not here to say, this is the answer to your question. I'm here to say, I'm here to help you find the answer to that question. And the goal is to allow Uganda to position itself to truly be a leader in this industry, not just in Africa, but the world.
Marina Mkose, UBC News.
Now, a number of school proprietors and stakeholders in Nakaseke district are having sleepless nights following a threat from a bank to sell off their school due to unpaid loans. The proprietor of Ellen White Bright Future in Senator William Mubanda claims to have received 2 conflicting letters from Opportunity Bank, one indicating a loan balance of over 1.8 billion shillings and another citing over 884 million shillings, leaving them confused.
The effects of the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown continue to weigh heavily on Uganda's education sector, with many schools either closed or grappling with heavy bank loans. Ellen White Bright Future School in Semoto Nakaseke district is among those caught up in the crisis. Proprietor William Mobanda says the school is facing threats of takeover by Opportunity Bank over outstanding loan payments.
So we are now still appealing to everybody. We are appealing to the President of Uganda, the Minister of Education, Minister of Finance, the Bank of Uganda, anybody concerned to know that there are so many people who are oppressed like this in a way of paying very abnormal profits which are not there.
However, Mubanda explains that the loan details are unclear. In April, they received 2 separate letters from the bank, one dated April 22nd, showing a loan balance of over 1.8 million shillings, and another dated April 30th, indicating over 884 million shillings.
Loan of 435 million from Opportunity Bank, and that money has been hiked in a way that is abnormal. From COVID, before COVID, we had already paid over 100 millions, whereby we had a principal of 360 remaining in the bank. After COVID, it was hiked to 571 millions, of which we have paid more than 400 millions, minus deducting any coin from our principal. In respect of, we are collecting interest. So from there, we are advised by the bank to get some more money to fund us, of which we are advised to borrow 800 millions, of which they gave us only in words and figures, whereby they only provided to us 69 millions out of the 800, minus all the money that we had paid before, 400, 250, 150 millions.
Mobanda says the discrepancy in figures has raised concern. He insists the school has been servicing the loan according to the agreement and has since petitioned the Bank of Uganda. The central bank has reportedly advised that both parties seek the services of certified public accountants to verify the loan documents. By press time, parents and teachers were seen holding placards with various messages in protest, demanding transparency and justice.
Banka egina twale soma egina twale soma banange tukole tutya esomero lino dirabirida abaana bange okuva obwedda mu gavumenti yatuyambe bannange.
Meanwhile, Opportunity Bank officials shared their side of the story on the telephone interview and said they had a long good working relationship with the school dating back in 2015, and on the issue of the 2 demand letters sent to the school, they clarified that one of the credit officer made an error with the figures when he wrote a demand letter.
Now into the world of sports, Park FC edged past Mango City in a thrilling 7-6 victory to claim the 2024-2025 Uganda Foster's Super Cup title. Players also benefited from the locker room bonuses sponsored by Bet Power, with each winner pocketing 95,000 shillings, a total of 334 million was disbursed this season.
The evening began with awards to the season standout players in various competitions: Uganda Cup, League, Frenzy, and the Futsal Association chosen players. League champions Mango City were eyeing a treble, having also secured the Uganda Cup trophy. But Park FC's Joshua Aziku had other ideas, scoring a stunning hat-trick to deny them a 3rd title.
It has been actually, I can say, the best team in the league, no doubt, because they went on an unbeaten run, and we fought at a 4-point lead which costed us in the end. And it actually feels so good to deny your rivals the treble, which Park FC won last season. So it's a major achievement in Park FC history. So we hope it will continue to be the only team to have won the treble.
Aziku, elated by his first trophy with Park FC, praised the intense competition this season.
We have been able to see stronger teams this season. Take an example of Mango City, Chisenyi, Kabowa, Dream Team. Those teams have been very, very good, and they've invested a lot in the sport.
Aziku also thanked the sponsors for supporting players and raising league standards.
With the help of Bet Power, futsal has gained recognition in Uganda, and I hope that Bet Power will be here next season to sponsor the league so that it can be able to grow and a lot of people join that sport and know about it.
The clubs now head into the off-season with a return to action expected in November.
What I hope for next season, hopefully if I remain playing in futsal, hopefully I'll be able to win the treble with Park FC. And I'm confident that I'll do everything possible to help Park FC to win the treble. That I promise you.
Mashamiro Victor, UBC News.
And lastly, as we sign out, hundreds of athletes are lined up to compete this Saturday at Nambole Stadium as the Uganda Athletes Federation marks a century of excellence.
Races for Akibua Memorial and also the national races.
The 2025 edition of the Akibua Memorial marks a historical milestone, transitioning from its traditional home in Lila City to the national stage. It forms part of the Federation's flagship celebrations to commemorate 100 years of athletics in Uganda.
Here for the first climax of our celebrations of 100 years of athletics in Uganda, with a theme celebrating and sustaining athletics excellence.
Over the last century, Uganda has proudly produced world-class athletes, earning international acclaim. Names like John Akibua, Stephen Kiprotich, and Joshua Cheptegei have flown Uganda's flag high and brought home gold.
And as we recognize our best, you know, it is Akibua Memorial. Akibua was the first to win a gold medal in the Olympic Games. And we have that memorial, which is annual. And for tomorrow, we are running this race to the level of bronze.
These Saturday's full-day races at Nambole are expected to draw athletes from across Africa, transforming the track into a stage of unity, heritage, and sporting excellency.
Vision has been brought home here for us now to try and qualify from home to go for World Championship. We want to give thanks and appreciation to the government of Uganda for giving us a good facilitation, a better track, so that we can host various international athletes.
Run my race and I'm ready for it. I'll run it. Whatever happens, happens. I don't know how fast it will be, but I'm ready for it.
The Uganda Athletic Federation will also honor Akibua's family and pay tribute to past and present legends who have shaped Uganda's athletics story. Nabachiwi Doreen Malaika, UBC News.
Well, that's all we had time for. Thank you once again for choosing us. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango from the entire news team. It's a good night, but UBC TV continues.